Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, I think we're all pretty aware that conlanging is a fairly niche hobby. If you tell most people that you like to make languages for fun, they'll probably look at you like you're weird or you have something wrong in your head. Even so, a lot of people who don't make conlangs, and in fact don't even have a lot of experience in linguistics, like to say a lot of things about conlangs that are just flat out wrong. So in this video, I'll be talking about many instances of these that I've taken from a Reddit post that I made, and I'll explain where they go wrong and what ideas they have that might have led to such assumptions. However, I'd also like to add a quick disclaimer in this video because just because someone doesn't know about conlangs, that isn't grounds to mock them. Because it's not knowledge that you're born with, and it's not essential to your life, so you could go your whole life without really knowing about this topic. And when someone asks you a question about it, they're genuinely expressing curiosity in your hobby. And if you make fun of them, then they'll feel like it's not safe to ask questions about it, and then they'll never learn. So I hope you'll be able to show this video to some people you know who aren't really interested in conlangs but have asked you questions like this before. So they'll understand stuff like this better, and then we'll have a more knowledgeable and better. Number one, why don't you do something creative instead? I'm going to run through this one quickly, but Conlangs are a creative project too, whether you think of them that way or not. Because something creative is something that you put mental power in to make a product that is appealing to someone, whether that be an audience or yourself. So, yes, painting is a creative activity, writing is a creative activity, but so is conlanging. You're putting a lot of effort into producing a system of communication that you find appealing in some way, or you find serves a purpose in a way that you want it to. So conlanging is creative. Number two, this question I probably find the most understandable because people usually do have a reason why they're making a conlang, but that reason is often a lot simpler than you think. Yes, there are some conlangs that are made for certain purposes, like Esperanto is supposed to serve as a universal world language, and I don't really think it works that way, but I'll explain that in a later video if I ever make that video. And similarly, Tokipona is made to simplify your thought. And then there's Lochban, which exists to basically just cause pain because it doesn't work as a human language, and I've heard that it's really annoying to learn. But most of the time, people just make conlangs for fun. It's a hobby. You do it for fun. You don't really have much other reason than that most of the time. Number three. Wow. Can you? Okay, this one I can tell that there's a fundamental misunderstanding of how conlanging works, and I'm just going to explain it this way. When you're making a conlang, it's a very complex system. So most of the time, you just have an idea of the core traits of your conlang and how it works, and you also understand the system that you're working on, not everything in the language all at once. It would be like you hear that your friend is a writer, so you ask him, "Hey, can you tell me what happens in this part of the story here?" They either haven't planned that part or they have written it, but they're working on something else right now. So their focus is not on that part, so they can't tell you exactly what's going on. But of course, a language is a much more complicated tool than a story. So it's that times 11. Number 4. Wow. Like King Sejong? Okay, this one's gonna need a little bit of explaining. Basically, King Sejong was a ruler in Korea in the 15th century AD, and he's universally regarded. Well, universally, I don't think most people in the West know about him, but he's regarded as one of the greatest rulers of Korea. And one of his main achievements is the creation of the script that Korea uses to this day, called Hangul. And for that reason, he is revered by both Koreans and linguists and language nerds alike. But the thing is, he created a writing system. A writing system is not a conlang. It is just a system to represent another language. And that is most telling because you can use a writing system to, however ill fittingly it might be, represent any language. You could hypothetically represent English with Chinese characters, though I wouldn't really recommend it. And of course, different writing systems throughout the world have always been adopted from other languages because writing has only been invented by about half a dozen different cultures. So, writing is fundamentally different from an actual language. Number 5. Oh, I do that too, shows codified English. This one has less to do with a misunderstanding of conlanging than it has to do with a misunderstanding of languages in general, because people have this idea that languages are a lot more similar than they actually are. Like, for a fairly simple example, in English, we have the color words blue and green. As you can see, the colors are very different, right? But in Japanese, at least in the core color words, they're both considered the same color, which is ao. And this isn't because all Japanese people are colorblind and can't distinguish blue and green or something. It's just that their language doesn't really feel the need to differentiate the words. Of course, a language can't feel anything, but whatever. And it's not just basic stuff like this, there's more complex stuff. English doesn't really have a robust case system outside of pronouns, but German has a few cases. And then there's Russian, which has a lot of cases. And then there are languages like Czech, which has an ungodly amount of cases, but let's focus on this for now. So it's obvious that making another language isn't just replacing every word in one language with another word. There's a lot more effort that needs to be put into it in terms of grammar, phonology, and so on. You can't just make a language by making a relex. Number 6. It's a waste of time. Learn a language that will actually be useful. If you don't make money from it, why do you do it? Firstly, it's not a waste of time because it's fun. Secondly, if you learn a language that's actually useful, or at least what these people consider useful, if you don't enjoy it, then you'll have a harder time learning it. So, really, you're just bogging yourself down with something you'll never complete. And if you don't make money from it, who cares? It's fun. You like it, it makes you happy, it's fun. Number 7. Something something fake language. Okay, we're starting to get into the serious ones a little bit, so let me just go ahead and explain why this is wrong. People always like to say that just because a conlang was created by someone else, that means it's fake. But that is fundamentally untrue. Look at something like Sindarin, created by J.R.R. Tolkien. Sindarin has an entire simulated history. It has a rich vocabulary, beautiful phonology, and very well made grammar that was based on real languages that Tolkien loved. It's very much a real language if it's not spoken, even if it's not spoken by real people, because Tolkien made it resemble a real language to an absurdly complex degree. And then we have a language like Viosa, which, unlike other conlangs, it was actually created by a group of people who came together and talked in various languages that they did not speak in common with each other, and over time, out of that process, Viosa came about, which means that Viosa is a natural conlang in that it arose from a natural process simulated artificially. And then we have Esperanto. Esperanto was created over a century ago, but even so, it maintains relevance today with books being written in it, radio shows being made in it, and of course, it has a thriving community of speakers with even some native speakers. Saying that it's a fake language is incredibly disingenuous. Of course, the very notion of a fake language is just completely silly. Any language that can be used for communication, no matter how simple or complex, is a language. Just by definition, it doesn't matter that no one has ever spoken it or no one is currently speaking it. It's still a language. Number 8. Why don't you save endangered languages instead? This, I think, is easily the most harmful claim that I'm showing in this video, and There's someone who made this claim about a year ago. I forgot his name, but he has a YouTube channel called Linguistic Diversity. And another YouTuber named Aditopian made a response video to him, so I'll link that video down in the description. But right now, I'll just give you my own 2 cents. Because when someone makes a conlang, it shows that they have genuine interest in languages. And that interest can be funneled into saving endangered languages as well. Because they feel like languages are something that can be fun. That's why they make languages. If you discourage people from making conlangs because they supposedly harm endangered languages, then that just cuts off their interest in linguistics. And therefore, we'll have less people who are willing to go out there and save these languages. You have to encourage people to understand that languages are important and that linguistics can be very interesting if you want people to care about these languages. So, you can clearly see why this claim is so dangerous. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know if I'll ever publish another video, but hopefully I do, and hopefully soon. See you guys, bye!